What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Okay, so this is the last reading I'm gonna make for until the 12th. I'm gonna take some time off because that's what God is telling me to do. So I just want to do one last reading for you all before I take my little breather. Okay, so Celtic cross or no Celtic cross, Lord? No Celtic cross. Okie dokie. So, Lord, please bring in your heavenly light, your clarity, and bring through the message that you have for the people for the next wee whiley. Okay, so we have the Three of Swords, heartbreak, grief, pain, trauma. Two of Swords, blinded, confused, disconnected from intuition. Seven of Swords, deception, trickery, lies, thieves energy. Right, we've got a lot of swords here. All swords to start with. Okay, that's significant. Okay, so we're all in a lot of mental energy right now. We all might be feeling some sort of sadness here. Confusion. This could be deception from a person or in your own mind, right? But it seems like we're all going through a bit of, what do you call that? A bit grey, isn't it? It's a bit grey. I mean, I love grey, but, you know. Right, so then we've got Injustice and the Hanged Man. Yeah, okay. It's like we're all being asked to stop what we're doing, right? Because Swords is all about action, air, doing, right? Like, it's like we've all been doing for too long and now we need a break. Because there's a lot of imbalance in our lives. This could be due to our own imbalance or someone else around us. But to know what to do when we're confused, we need to just take time out alone to work out what is the next step. Okay, Lord, what is the next step? What's the message, Lord, for the people? For the people. Yeah, to get out of this state of confusion, we must spend time alone. In stillness, in nature, but whatever works for you, stillness, and that's what's going to take us out of this confusion. So I think retrograde ends on the 12th, which is, I can't remember, I was listening to something earlier, and I think it mentioned that, and I was like, okay, right, I'll do my dieta until that date, and then it'll be like back into kind of things moving forward after that. So if you're watching this anytime near when I've posted it, you could do the same thing, like just take maybe just a week or something like that, a few days, just to reset. Judgment reversed. It's like we're all being called to look at things clearly, right? Because with Judgment Reverse, that's all about like those cold, harsh truths. It's like we're being asked to call out betrayals, call out heartbreaks. We're being asked to face the trauma in our lives, in our relationships with ourselves and with others. Okay. Oofed. It's difficult work, guys. It is indeed. It's hard for us to, especially as good people, it can be hard for us to judge others. Like to actually say no. That's not acceptable. But that's what we're being asked to do. Because we can't heal if we're, say it is a person that's treating you unfairly. We can't heal from that if we're still there getting treated unfairly, right? So we need to go into this dark period and bring the light to end this confusion, to make some serious judgment calls about what we're going to let go of and what we're going to keep, right? What we're going to protect, which should be ourselves, and what we're going to let go of, anything that is not protecting us. We might be being asked also to let go of any like material things that we're holding on to too tight, that are preventing us from seeing the truth, which is often the case, right? Because we're what was I going to say there? Yeah, we're often bound by our animalistic desires for comfort and happiness, right? So it often is material things that bind us to not seeing clearly, because we kind of assume a lot of things can't be. Well, I can't do that because I'll be homeless, so therefore I can't escape this situation. Like, try to not restrict yourself too much. Like, there's a lot more possibilities than you think when you're feeling restricted. You feel like, oh, there's no options, but there is. It's like, but you need to let things go first before something else can come in that's better for you. Okay. That one wants to come out. The 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, so it's like we're being asked to look at deception in the family home for a lot of people. In our relationships with our family, friends, like close relationships. Oh, that was that way around. Yeah, I'm getting again like the reading I did earlier. I think that was the love reading, but anyway, there was a lot about inner child healing, and so this could be about this, right? So if you've had a traumatic upbringing or any trauma in your past, right, related to your ability to feel stable and safe and protected, you're being asked to look at that, to bring that into the light, right? Okay, let's see here. Oof, this is a big ask, Lord, isn't it? But it's all for the good. Woo. Woo, 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 woo. 5 of Cups under Justice reversed. Yeah, so it's like we are being called collectively into a time of grief, which is quite interesting because I actually just did, a, like as part of my moon ceremony, I did a funeral ceremony for my past life up until now that I'm disconnecting from, the past person that I thought I was, and disconnecting from relationships that I thought were something that they weren't, right? So I just had a little ceremony there to energetically cut the ties from these people that have hurt me and betrayed me. And I just kind of said out loud, with Jesus there, you know, protecting me, like, I just said the things I needed to say, like, this is not acceptable, the way that you've treated me. And just said a few things on why, and that it really hurt me. These people really hurt me. And I just said the things that I needed to say. And then, so you could either do this the same way, like out loud, or you could write it down if you don't have the ability to kind of have that space to do that. Or don't do anything like that, it's just an idea. What I was doing there. And it felt good to kind of say, like, just like, no, this wasn't acceptable, and it isn't acceptable, and you must face judgment, and you must tell the truth, and you must go to the Lord. But that I basically said, I'm not waiting, I'm not holding on for any of these past relationships. These are a complete disconnection for me. And just having that time of, you know, this is like a funeral, isn't it? Like that, actually having that mournful time to be like, okay, like bringing closure, right? Because we need to bring closure before, that's what a funeral is, isn't it? It's closure so that you can move on. Otherwise it feels like, well, it's like we're all lingering in so much trauma that hasn't been ceremonialized, right? This is one thing this is why I love shamanic or like tribal communities, is the way they are connected to everything. Like, it feels like in the West we don't, you know, if someone goes through a trauma, it's just like, all right, back to work the next day, back to school, maybe have a bit of counselling or like something, but it's not. Whereas in shamanic cultures, they would actually, like within 3 days of you going through a trauma, like it could be like a physical accident, that's still trauma, right? Your soul still detaches to protect itself in that impact of trauma. And so within 3 days in these shamanic communities, they will the shaman will perform a soul retrieval on the person who's gone through the trauma to bring their soul back to them. Because every time we go through trauma, our soul, this is like dissociation, right? It flees to protect itself and to protect you. But now it's like especially in the West, like because we are so action and go orientated, none of us have had time to grieve. And what was the first card that came out? Grief. We're all grieving for different reasons, completely different things, lots of similar things, but we're all in pain. We've all got a lot of pain that needs to be looked at. It can't just be brushed under the rug, because then you'll always feel like this. So we need that proper ceremony to be like, right, this is what's going on, this is where I'm at, this is where I want to be. How do I get there? Right? And so we're being asked to get there by having a ceremony or some form of ritual or anything to cement, like, this is the old cycle, I'm leaving this behind, like, make it a big deal. so that you can invite in this new cycle. Yeah, and forgive, right? Forgive. It's not about forcing forgiveness, because you should never feel you have to do that. And you should never feel you have to forgive someone. But it's for you. But don't rush that, don't force forgiveness. That's the first time I've said that I forgave some people for what they'd done to me there. But I know it's a continual process, and like tomorrow I could wake up thinking, fuck no. But I know that I've been forgiven for my sins. And I'm truly grateful for that. It was actually quite interesting, you know, I expected to get into a kind of angry, like fuck you, right? And I actually wasn't like that. But then when that came up, I was like, right, okay, I'm going to express that because I totally have the right to be angry. And so I said, fuck you, like, fuck all of you. And then I just laughed. Like, that's all it actually took. It was beautiful. It was like as soon as I said, I couldn't even get, like, the anger out, which is definitely not the case all the time at all, right? But it was very beautiful to be in that moment, like, me kind of expecting, like, oh, don't say fuck you, because then you'll go too much into that and you'll, like, lose yourself. And I was like, no, I can express fuck you. I allowed it, and just whilst expressing fuck you, I was like, I don't even care. Like, like for me personally, I will not allow any more of my energy and peace to be stolen from me than the people who have hurt me. They've already done that enough, right? So I'm not in the mindset of giving them any more of my mind and energy. I'm absolutely ready to move on. But again, it's about not, I was saying this earlier, not about forcing that kind of, no, you will not take any of my energy, right? Still allowing myself to, like, cry and be like, but you notice when you actually allow that, it's like much quicker, which is what I think happened with the fuck you. It was like, right, okay, now I'm gonna say it then, right? Fuck you, and then I was like, oh, I don't care for being in that energy, right? I don't. But you have to say your part. You have to say, like, look, this wasn't okay. And whatever your judgment call is on that, if that's a complete disconnection, or if that's just us saying this wasn't okay, this needs to be said, so that I can get closure and forgive maybe at one point and move on. But it's like we have to bring things to the light, because if things are just muddly in your kind of subconscious, it's muddly, it's not clear. It's like the power of your voice, the power of bringing things into that, like, brings it into the physical realm. Like, you vibrate your voice, like you take it from your mind mental into the physical, right? There's power there. There's power in saying, like, you've hurt me, you've deeply hurt me, and whatever you need to say. And then, but for you to let it go, it must be brought to light. But it's hard. It's hard. Um um for example, I don't speak to my family, and the whole time it was a rocky relationship, like plenty of chaos, and so there'd been a few times I'd already not spoken to my family, and then I realised, but it'd always been like a big argument, and then it would come back together because I'd kind of feel guilty and like, um, oh, I could have done better, like, and all this sort of stuff, right? So that was the cycle that I was in, um, until I realised like, and loved myself enough. I was like, oh, okay, no, this family is abusive. Um, and I love myself now enough to say that plainly. So I actually then decided to tell them. Yeah, that went well. Not that I was expecting it to, of course. But I decided, right, I'm just going to say it plainly, and then I'm going to leave. But this time it's in the daylight, right? It's like it's being brought to the light. It's like I'm not sneaking around. I'm saying, look, you're abusive, and therefore I love myself, so I'm going to have to leave. Right? So that's what I did. That's not me advising anyone to do that. I'm just saying about that. And since then, I've not looked back. Because I also actually recorded it on audio. They weren't aware of that. But that helped me as well afterwards to just, because you know, if it was chaotic, like even though I tried to just speak, it blew up. And after those type of events, I find I can't remember what's happened because it's so overwhelming. So it really helped me to have that recording to then listen to after and be like, oh, okay, yeah, you can leave these people, these fucking idiots, right? So I'm telling you that just to show you the power of making things conscious, because I managed to bring that to the light and be like, look, this is what I'm saying, this is my case, right? Then when I walked away and then could look back over that, I wasn't like, oh shit. I was like, yeah, this is the right decision, and I've finally done it, and I've done it in the right way so that I can feel that I'm not back and forth, I'm not doubting it. It's like, yes, this was the right decision. So I am getting a lot of that about bringing things to the light. And let me believe you, that was not easy, right? And would I have done that years before? But God had my back, God was guiding me, so it was fine. Okay, what else have we got for the message, Lord, for these beautiful people? Ah, yes. Thank you, Lord. The star. Yeah, man. That's under the Hanged Man. So yeah, going it alone and doing the healing work and having faith, because God will have your back even when you're going it alone, right? Let me tell you, God has your back. When you feel like there's no one there to protect you, God's got you. And this will bring healing. This will bring... You won't even believe the amount of healing it can bring. I can't believe the amount of healing that has happened to me over the past few years. And it's been over a process of bringing things to light, cutting things off, bringing things to light, cutting things off, bringing things to light, cutting things off. All in the service of loving myself, protecting myself, looking after myself. Like, if no one looks after you, look after yourself. Even if people do look after you, look after yourself. But especially if no one looks after you, you better start looking after your fucking self. Because you deserve it. You're a star. You're beautiful. You're bright. You just need to uncover that. Uncover that, yes. Right? You're covered up right now because of all of this. All of the grief and the shame and the unprocessed emotions. Of course that's going to weigh you down. but you're being asked to let yourself be weighed down. Get all the way down to the ground, like on your knees, and just let it go. Take some time. What else have we got here? Lord, lordy, lord, lordy, lord, lordy, 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 lord. The chariot reversed. Yes, stay the fuck still. Park that vehicle. Don't move your bum. Okay, right. We are seriously being guided to take a fucking step off the pedal, right? Even if you can only take one full day off, take one full day off. As in, like, don't do anything. I know that's hard, right? But this is... Like, people get stuck in thinking that they can't take time off because they already feel behind. And then it's this continual catch-up cycle, this continual, like, hamster wheel, right? But it's like, no. Because if you invest in the right place, then that's going to come back tenfold. If you're investing in the wrong place, which is pushing against a brick wall, you're just going to waste all your energy doing that and nothing's going to move. Whereas if you actually stop, go and get your tools and then hack it down, you know? So we're being so much, I can't express how much we're being guided to stay still, stop working, let go, look at the grief, look at the pain, bring judgment to it. That's either judgment, that's judgment to both, have we done something to hurt someone else? Is there some truth, is there some betrayal that we've done that needs to come out? That's always phase one. And then phase two is, has anyone else, is there anything else that needs to come out, right? But phase one is always, have I done anything dishonest that needs to come to light, okay? And remember, we've all done that. So just please don't feel alone in that. It's okay. The Lord forgives us in the truth. As long as we are genuine and want to change and want to be truthful. We actually want that change, then God grants us that wish, right, with the star. Betrayal, yeah, over here. Yeah, exactly. So this is all about betrayal. This is the first, okay, so the first thing first is, if there's any betrayals that you need to bring to light, bring that to light, okay? Even if that means losing people, you know, all the things that come with the truth, it's got to be done. It's got to be done. I mean, you can always choose to hold on. It is your choice to not follow the truth, but you're not going to get anywhere beautiful that way, is all. The Hermit in reverse. Yeah, we're being called to bring a light to the darkness, to the underworld, to the betrayals. This is heavy shit. But after this period, this is it, right? We can actually be done with it. Right? That's the thing, right? When you tell the truth and you follow the path, right? Things can actually end. They can actually end. Things will never properly end if you're not in the truth. Because there'll always be parts of your mind, parts of God trying to say to you, You're not going to get rid of God doing that to you until you tell the truth. Okay? No more lies. And again, it's a lie, even if you were like in my situation with an abusive family. I'm pretending like, because that's what abusive families do. They create this illusion of everything's okay, everything's bright in this house, and they want you to buy in to that. Like any abusive relationship, they want you to buy into like everything's fine, right? Lies. Okay, so even you not speaking up for yourself is a lie. Right, I'm not saying you have to do everything at once here. This is what's coming out as the guidance, right? Is that there's different parts here, whatever stage you're on. It's all about the truth. But it's like dark truths. I will admit it. It's dark truths, but they need to be looked at before the light can come back in. You know? You know what I'm saying? Wheel of Fortune reversed, exactly, right? We will be stuck in grief from this injustice until we decide to bring it to the light. I know it's a lot, but that's just the way it is. We have to deal with these things before we can move on. Okay, what else have we got here? Thank you. Yes. Yeah, so you're being asked to heal from whatever this situation is for you. This is like kind of wickedness, lack of nurturing. I'm getting a lot about relationships, so it's like we're looking at ourselves, remember relationships with ourselves and then others, right? So in what ways are you not nurturing yourself, or in what ways are people disrupting your nurturing of yourself, or like not showing you love? This is what we need to look at and bring light to. Like, what things am I doing to myself that are keeping me in dark wickedness, or confusion, or what things are other people doing to me to keep me from my power and from healing? Look, all this healing though. Whoa. Oh, I can feel the heaviness of it, guys. But it's okay. It's okay. It's heavy, right? That's just the truth. It's heavy shit. But just know that we're in this collectively. This is totally collective. Just because people don't admit that does not mean that it's not true. We're absolutely going through this collectively, and it's your choice whether you do the work alone to bring the light in, to bring healing in, and your angels in, or you stay in wicked energy, deception, shite, right? It's totally up to you. Totally up to you. That's how much God cares about freedom. He lets you choose. Yeah, okay, yeah. So to gain the clarity, we have to stop and listen to our intuition and let those secrets come out. This is all about secrets coming out. Oof, yeah, man, honestly, we are actually going through a fucking global shift of secrets coming out. Why am I getting confused here? Whoa, that's beautiful though, because that means we can heal. Oh. Yeah, illusions being broken. That's it, that's what we've been called to do, right? We've been going through collective illusions like nothing else, okay? It's time for that to stop. Because it's taking its toll. collectively, personally, on every level, it's taken its toll. Okay, so that's heavy, so I'm going to do a little bit at the end here just to get the motivation back in for doing the fucking healing work. Don't want to be depressing us all about how heavy it is. That is not my intention at all. But it is heavy, I'm not going to lie. Because secrets, you know, the longer they go on, the heavier they get. Yep. Exactly. The more confusion, it's like a web of lies, isn't it, right? It's not just one thing, and then it's all interconnected, and it's like, oh god. We've got the Queen of Wands, Six of Cups, and the Ten of Wands reversed. Yeah, so we're coming out of this confusion by using our beautiful light that is within. This is all about like your own strength, your own personal power, your own personal charisma, your unique nature, right? So your unique creativity is what is going to lead you towards healing. Your decision, yes, your decision towards healing. This is what healing's all about, right? If you decide to heal from something, that is it. Right? When I first got diagnosed with fibromyalgia, I was like, I'm going to heal from that. Like, decision done, right? I haven't done that yet, but I have healed a lot of the way. So it's all about that choice, right? 2 is about choice. Aha, yes, right? Here we go. Here's the power. Your choice is your power. Don't you ever let anyone think. Don't you ever let anyone make you think that you don't have the power of choice. We all have that power, no matter where we are. Oh, that sounds weird. Let's get the drums back on. You have the power to be bold and courageous with your choices, and the choices are always a 2. It's always either the light or the dark, the truth or the lie, right? The Lord or the devil. Your higher self or your lower self, okay? So if you choose your higher self, you will receive divine love. You'll be balanced, you'll be able to give and receive love. And have it in yourself, your own self-confidence, your ability to stand by yourself, to lead your own path. Like, the amount of things you worry about that just don't come true is what I'm getting here. You know, like, I'm just thinking of all the things I worried about over the last 2, like, since finding God, right, or God finding me. So many worries about, like, oh, but, like, I want to do this, but I won't have the confidence, and then it's like, by the time you get there, you do have the confidence. Like, there's just so much fucking nonsense that you don't need to worry about, because God has got your back. Everything happens in divine timing. He will lead you along the path with love. With love. God just has love for you, and just wants you to drop the burdens, right? There's something about, oh, there's probably quite a lot of that in the Bible about dropping your burdens, but I can't remember it. But that's what God wants you to let go, so that He can lift the burdens, because He's infinitely strong and wants to help you. And that'll be completion, that'll be done. Okay, so what is the future for the people who choose the Light Lord? Knight of Cups reverse. That is not the future for the people who choose the light. Well, maybe that's the short. That's true. That's true, because if you choose to tell the truth and it's not so fun, as in you've hurt people and it's not so good, you will feel alone and rejected from love. But then what, Lord? What comes in after that? Lead us the way, Lord. Or it could even be also like you'll feel really unhealed at first. This card's all about healing, right? Well, it is for me. I don't know if that's the actual message, but it is for me anyway. You could feel impure as well. Yeah, that's definitely the first stage. It's like you just feel really impure and like terrible and guilty and like cut off from love. I'm not understanding this. No, right, let's get these knocked. Thank you. Yes, and then comes in the healing. Because your angels are there. Right, as soon as you say, Lord, I'm sick of the way that I've been. I'm sick of the lies, I'm sick of the pain, I'm sick of the lack of peace. I want to start anew. I want to be reborn. I want to be pure and in the truth and in love. Help me. Forgive me, Lord. Right? 41 when I said that. Okay. That really felt like forgiveness, like coming into the home, into the light with the 1 and then the 4s. Like, as long as you're pure and of the light and connected to the 1, then you're welcome in the 4, the kingdom of God, right? And that is healing, and that'll take a lot of time depending on your situation. My situation was pretty bad. Took me a lot of time, it still is, to get over my own bullshit. My own shit that I let out into the world, right, because of my ignorance and lies. But you will get healing and you will feel connected to the angels. Because that's what they want. God's not trying to punish you. It's just about you learning the lesson and then learn the lesson so you move on. That's the thing, like once you actually learn the lesson, once you actually tell the truth, this is all about not having it in that murky, I kind of know that I lied, so like I'll just not do that anymore. No, you have to tell the truth out in the open, boldly. Thank you, Lord. You have to bring it out like this, like right in fucking front of people's faces to restore balance, right? Because otherwise it doesn't. It needs to be conscious. It needs to be in the light. Otherwise it'll still rule in the darkness, right? But once you do tell the truth, like actually the truth, cleansed, right? You are cleansed. You are reborn. And you won't have those problems. It's not that you won't need healing, but it's you won't. Like as soon as I decided to tell the truth, in all that I do, it's been easy. It was kind of like, all right, why don't I just do that all along? But like, it just gets easier and easier and easier and easier and easier is what I'm trying to say. So the future's bright. The first step's the hardest, right? As we know, which is making that decision. Am I gonna be a child of God, or am I gonna be the only other child you can be? That's the thing, right? Just because you don't believe in God, that doesn't mean then you don't believe in Satan. Yeah, and then there we go, and then God gives you your dreams. God makes you into this beautiful, self-reliant, confident, badass motherfucking bitch okay, maybe not a bitch, but God makes you into your own, right? Because remember, God created you completely uniquely and perfectly. And God just wants you to release that, but you don't because of fear and all sorts of stuff, right? But once you tell the truth and you keep being guided by the voice of the angels, right? And keep continuing that gradual, but just bit by bit, daily improvements in alignment with the light, then God will build you up from 0, as in when you decide to be reborn, all the way up, look, to 9, which is all the way to like completion, or just about, with what you can do by yourself. But God will completely transform you, and your dream like career or passion or whatever, or work or whatever that is, He'll give you that, like in ways you just can't imagine. So it's positive. This is what you can have. This is what you can have, right? But it all comes down to that choice. Okay, are you going to do the healing work? Are you going to look in the dark? Are you going to tell the truth? Or are you going to sweep it under the rug for another day? It's completely up to you, my darlings. Completely up to you. So yeah, that's the message. I am going to go and practice what I preach. Get what I mean? Practice what you preach, hen. So that's what I'll be up to. So I will miss you though, even though no one watches my videos really, I don't believe at the moment, but I can feel the energy of the people who in the future will be watching my videos, and I like you. You're cool. Like the energies that I'm picking up of you good people recently have been badass, and I like being in your energy, and I'm gonna miss reading. But that's the sacrifice you've got to make when God says, fucking stop it. Stop it. Stop distracting yourself. Fucking sit still. And just be. Okay. So I will be struggling with this myself. But that's the plan. So enjoy yourself. Take care of yourself. Make good choices, not bad excuses. Which one's it gonna be? Trust in Him. Trust in Him, my darlings. And it'll all be okay. It'll all be okay. It'll all be okay. Okay, take care. I do. I'll miss you. I'll see you once the retrograde's fucking over and it's time to be back in action, and I'm sure I'll have plenty to tell you about my wee experience. So yeah, I love you, God loves you, Jesus loves the fucking shit out of you. Call on Jesus whenever you need anything, and He's there. Okay, I love you. Goodbye for now. Mwah.